I'm having a very common, deja vu, like not just deja vu, but deja vu of having had deja vu, of having had deja vu, of having had deja vu. So this didn't just happen once before. This shit's been going on all the time.
Oh man, that almost sounds like Déjà Vécu.
Tell me about that.
Déjà Vécu is when you can remember vividly, like experiencing, not just like seeing the moment, but like experiencing the whole thing, and then kind of more specifically, more than once.
Oh,
Um, I used to call them time loops, but then I found out that it is a regular déjà for some people. So,
wow.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that there was a name for it. Yeah, like I very often have that where it isn't a sense of this has happened once before. It's a sense of like, oh my God, it's turtles all the way down. This event is infinite, and then it's like
Yes.
5 seconds and it's gone. But
Have you seen the Star Wars movies?
the scene with Rey when she
Yes, where
goes
she does
into
the
that
snap.
cave,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh my God, they know.
Yep. That is exactly what I picture and what I think of when it
Yes.
happens to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that way more often than I get the sense of it only having happened once. So, I don't know, man.
Man, that's awesome. I'm at my seventh right now. So like I kind of call it like my seventh precog line. But yeah, when I go through my déjà vu, like I remember when it was, oh hey, I've gone through this, I've precogged this like a couple times at different points in time before now.
Oh,
Uh,
really? So
yeah.
you have a count.
Oh yeah, I actually have it recorded where it goes from about two. I don't know if I have three and four recorded. Actually, yes, I do. I have three and four recorded. That's from a long time ago though. That's
No
from
kidding. Oh wow, you're
yeah,
awesome, man. You're so
that's from
organized.
two. Yeah, oh my God, you should see my notes. I am very meticulous with it. My mom was like an excellent journalist. Like
Hmm.
she kept her own personal records and she has all these books in a box somewhere. Rest in peace. But I do too. I have little journals. Some of them are all fancy looking, some of them are simple, but yeah, I keep a log.
Oh, that's awesome. See, I journal like crazy, and I never read them, or hardly ever.
Oh,
I
each
don't
year I go back and look over them and then like summarize what I need to remember moving forward.
really. I don't know why I can't bring myself to do that. There are occasions where I'm like, oh, yes, this one I specifically remember. And it's usually when I've drawn something it's a dream journal thing. And, I'll go back and be like, oh, yeah, that thing that I'm seeing right now, I'm going to take a picture of it because I'm pretty sure I drew that from last night.
Hmm.
Um, but other than that, honestly, Zach, it just feels a little overwhelming.
Yeah,
I have this sense of like I'm just gonna swim downstream and just kind of let this shit happen.
it's the best way to go.
Okay, well, because I'm always in awe of people that are like you that like meticulously take notes and then like cross reference them, or like Eric Wargo, like people who actually do. I guess I'm just don't. I'm kind of ADHD, but I'm also really an artist, and I guess I just don't. It's not how I operate. I keep all the files. I just never look at them again.
Hmm. Yeah, that might just
So,
be as simple as like getting into the habit of it and then like
right.
enjoying it more. Because like when you realize how, because it can be like transformative, it can be rewarding, it can put a smile on your face when you like look back at something you wrote, and then I don't know, I don't know, it seems important to keep track of everything and then to revisit the important things and just scrap the rest.
Yeah,
I
I
think it
think
might be
that.
OCD.
Well, and I think that, talking about it now, because I've never really talked about this before, the fact that I don't really go back and look through my journals very much. And like, I drag this in this early in the conversation, but I think it probably has to do with the trauma history thing that I've had oh, it's done and we don't want to go back there.
Hmm.
And especially in my dreams, that's a lot of processing time. And sometimes it's like, shit. Like while you're still processing it, so you really want to go back and like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
With
more interested in like I have dream journals that are like 10 years old, and those are easier for me to pick up and go, oh, what was I dreaming back? I've got one that the oldest one I think that I have was probably around 25 years old. And, I go back through that, and it's interesting to see how my brain or my interpretation of reality is the same and how it's changed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
I have ones from like when I would have them from when I was 18, but I lost all of them because it was just purely online. And so I
oh
think my
no.
earliest is from like 21.
Mm. Yeah, I've kept them online here and there, and I stopped doing that because they could get lost, and then also because I found that I was censoring myself more. That like I was just afraid of you put them out there kind of publicly, and I don't know. There's a
Yeah.
sense of like I don't know if I want everybody on the planet to be able to read this. So I've not only stopped putting them online, but I actually started writing them out longhand in journals with the fountain pen. So they're all fancy. Like I switch up my ink, and I have a good time with my fountain pen.
Hey,
And
that's important.
yeah, and I feel like I have sometimes when I've had ones that are sort of strikingly precog, I've taken a picture of the journal page and then like sent it to somebody and been like, oh, hey. I think I'm lucky in that I don't seem to precog disaster. I don't precog, oh, this person's gonna die. I don't precog like, this plane is gonna fall out of the sky. I do a lot of trauma work, and there's stuff in there that is ancestral, which is obviously not precog, although you could argue that it's all kind of the same thing. So I deal with my share of that shit, but who is it? There's this woman who precogs, she was struck by lightning. She was a Jewish lady who got struck by lightning, and she had 2 kids. She was
Elizabeth
walking into,
Crumb?
yeah, is that her name? She was walking into the synagogue, and she got struck by lightning, and then after that, she met her grandfather, and then after that, she's been a precog.
Yep.
And, she described that the hardest thing for her was that she would precog, like, accurately, like, airline disasters. And I
Yep.
thought, oh my God, that's terrible. I feel so bad for her. That's a terrible burden to have.
Yeah. That's purely what I would precog when it was like 2010 to 2012. But
Really?
I'd say since then I confronted like some of that trauma that I was like hiding from
Mm-hmm.
before my 20s. And I think once you confront trauma, it stops you from being interested in future trauma. So like you're not as jarred by it. And yeah, you're
Huh.
desensitized to it. So why would you precog something that you're desensitized to, you know?
That's interesting. I mean, I've done my share of trauma work, and in that trauma work, I am going into ancestral stuff, and I experience stuff as if I am in the body of this or the that or the other person that this terrible thing is happening to. So I'm clearing that, but my precogs they're generally pretty delightful, honestly. They're trivial. They're like, oh, wow, I'm watching a show and that scene was in there, or I'm driving along and, oh, that butte, I drew that 2 days ago. Or, oh, look, my therapist is wearing her favorite red wool shawl and I had that exact dream the night before, So maybe that's a good thing. I don't know.
Right? Like, I wonder if, like, as precogs, we adjust what we are interested in and what we're affected by because of, like, our history of precognition and kind of wanting to direct that to a certain path a little bit. Because I do the same thing. I'm only precogging TV shows, movies, and then fun little moments in my life.
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a relief, like for that to be. I almost feel like there's almost kind of like a responsibility to dream a better world into existence that way. That like you can ask your precogs to sort of direct you, because if I with all the shit I've been through in my life, if I was precogging like death and destruction and planes falling out of the sky, I don't know if I can make it. I need I need my future to be fun.
Hello, guys. Yeah, I want to share something. I don't know if I am a precog. I'm not really sure. I'm not really certain, but what I can tell you from my experience, ever since I was a little boy, I did feel like there's something else. Like I felt that there's something more to me. that there is something more to me. That I'm not like any other person, not like, oh, I'm the greatest person in the world and that kind of stuff. No, but I did sense that something is, not wrong, but that something is special. Quote. Okay. And now I didn't have any precog visions or something, or like that. I didn't have any sense of the future of what I would do or any messages, but that I have discovered in the latest years now. I'm studying statistics. Okay, I'm Greek. I'm studying statistics, and because in the early semesters of the university of our department, we study probabilities and that kind of things. Because we are taught to be to consider every possibility, to consider every possibility probable, that it might actually happen. I am more open to that idea, and that has expanded my horizons a little. So lately, the last 3 to 4 years, I might say, it would be a very common thing in my everyday life that I would think of something, and just an idea just passing through my head and through my mind, and I would think of something, and either it would happen the next hour, for example, or the next day. I would simply think of something, and the next hour or the next 3 hours or the next day, not very far in the future, but 1 to 3 hours later, it would actually happen, or something similar to what I thought, in a very high probability. For example, I would think of a TV show, and that I haven't seen in many months, or an episode of a certain episode of a series, for example. I watch a lot of TV shows, and the next day, boom, there it is on the TV. And that's what I consider precog. It is how open you are to the possibilities, the probabilities around you. If you are too narrow-minded, not that you are narrow-minded, I don't consider anyone narrow-minded. I'm just saying that, how should I put it? You should be extremely open to every possibility. You can't say, oh, that can't happen. It might happen. However small the possibility can be, 0.00001, it might happen. You never know. That's what helped me, develop this sense. I don't know if it's precognition. I don't know if it is reality warping or something. I don't know, but that's what I've tried to see it. I've tried testing it and studying it through science, statistics, because that's what I'm studying after all. I've tried the metaphysical possibility. I tried reading tarot cards, and surprisingly, many fortune tellings that I did for myself and other people, actually, they were pretty decent. I was spot on many things. And I don't know. I don't know how, if you believe in magic or in the metaphysical, the paranormal, or I don't know. But what life has taught me, I'm 34 years old. In 1 month, I will be 34. What I have learned up until now is that I shouldn't close the door to any possibility. Anything can happen. Anything can happen, and anything happens for a reason. My favorite show was Charmed. And my favorite motto from this show was when Alyssa Milano, Phoebe, who had premonitions, she was a precog, was everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason, and everything can happen. That's my opinion on this talk we're having.
That's one.
Say.
I really appreciate you sharing all that. I'll just say real quick before because I have some things I wanted to say, because that's all just super relatable. Yeah, Charmed. I got into a rewatch of it lately, and I've been noticing how Phoebe acts with her precognition, and it's very much, she already is like very relaxed with it, and she just accepts what it is. And then there's, of course, the times where she has to, she gets riled up about it, and it gets in her head, and then, but I wanted to say a couple things, because, being open-minded, it's been proven that activates more precognition, and it's just in general a good way to live your life. So being open-minded, and then especially having your life, like your own life experiences teaching you, because like I'll always say, I'm a lifelong learner. As soon as I get back into college, I don't think I'll ever stop. I'll just keep going through classes after classes, and trying to just learn as much about my life as possible based off of my experiences. It's so cool to hear that you have your intuitive thoughts, and you can see certain moments the next day or the next few moments.
Yes, I don't see pictures. They just come to me as ideas, as intuition. Exactly, that's the word I should use. It's intuition. It's extremely sensitive intuition. I mean, I can very easily. My intuition is like it's always on. It's always on. I don't control it. It just happens. It's like Phoebe. Her visions come to her.
Yep.
She can't conjure a vision. It's just like that. Yes, and it's the intuition.
So you're studying statistics. Have you heard of the work of Jessica Utts?
Jessica Utts.
Jessica Utts. UTTS. She's a statistician. I think she was the president of the American Statistical Society for a while or something. Mm-hmm. And she has done a lot of work using statistics to prove the existence of psi. So if you haven't looked her up, you're not aware of her, as somebody who's studying statistics, you might be interested in some of the podcasts that she's been on.
No, I haven't heard of her. I just Googled her. Yes, she's on Wikipedia too, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Wikipedia doesn't have anything good to say about any side stuff.
She's a parapsychologist and a statistics professor at the University of California, Irvine. Yeah.
Check out some of the podcasts with her, because she's pretty cool.
Are there podcasts on Spotify?
You can find them on YouTube. I know she's got one with Jeffrey Mishlove on YouTube.
Okay.
And I've found interviews with her all over YouTube. I haven't looked for her on Spotify, but I wouldn't be surprised if she's there.
Okay, I see that she has extremely many citations, over 5,000.
Well, that's a statistic right there.
Whoa, yeah. Whoa.
Yeah, Dr. Utts is a heavy hitter.
Yeah. Almost 6,557.43 citations. Jesus.
Mhm.
Okay.
There's one thing that I love, and that's and this might even have to do with like trauma, like we were talking about earlier, but
Yes.
the urge to like envision all the possibilities of the future. I find that that really helps. Like if you can consciously like exercise your mind to try and think about what will realistically happen in the future,
Yes.
I think that that helps sharpen our subconscious too, so that eventually, like in the things that we're consciously like pondering, there's some real subconscious precognitive information there.
Yes, yes, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, our intuition as human beings, whether some people are precogs or not, or some people are not precogs. Okay, I believe that they may never discover that ability, but our subconscious, because it functions and controls our bodies from everything that happens in our bodies, the beating of our heart, the hormones that must be, it controls the chemistry of our bodies, it controls the chemistry of our brain. I mean, you have seen the movie Lucy. Morgan Freeman said that we may be using the 10% of our brain. We,
Hmm.
I mean, who knows? Maybe Darwin was right. I believe that he was right. I mean, facts say the science that Darwin is right. Maybe the next step is that maybe the intuition in ourselves is starting to expanding, and we're catching little glimpses either of the future or something that is happening right now. You know how they say that if you fall in love with someone and something happens to him and he's on the other side of the world, you feel you feel that, oh, she's not well. I gotta call her. It's like the mother and her child, for example. That's
There's a,
intuition. That's
yeah,
intuition. If that's
there's
not
actually
if that's not precog, then what is?
yeah. I don't know if you've seen the like the subreddit, like if you've gone around and you've seen the Precog 101 section, but the verified claims, actually that section has a lot of examples of like family members or loved ones sort of sensing things across the world, like during the
I
Titanic.
haven't,
Uh,
but I strongly believe it.
what
I
was that?
haven't. I haven't read that section, but I strongly believe that idea. When you share many experiences with someone, you develop a chemistry. That's psychology. It's extremely logical. It doesn't have to do with, you don't have to mention precognition or paranormal or metaphysical or anything. That's pure science. Okay, pure positive science. That when you share many experiences with someone, you will develop a unique chemistry. And if that person is not around you, not that he has passed away, he's in another country, for example, studying or living, and something happens to him, yes, it, you will sense something. It's not like, oh, yes, I know he was hit by a truck, God forbid, but you know that something is wrong with him or something good happened to him. That's what I'm saying.
I would, yeah, I would absolutely, I agree. I think that that goes hand in hand with precognition because, when you care about something and you're not desensitized to it or you don't even want to be,
Mm.
yeah, when you love something, it's so much easier to precog that thing. Um, there was one thing I wanted to mention because the
Yes, sir.
open-mindedness aspect, I've been, I mentioned earlier, I log everything, I record everything. Um, I have been noticing that when I go to sleep at night and I have, you know how you can go to sleep and you have a comfortable idea of how the future is going to be. Um, when I go to sleep like that, it never delivers any precognition or anything at all. And then whenever I feel like my whole world's just been like, anything is possible at all for the future, whenever that happens and I go to sleep like that, and it's just all more open and in the air. That's when I have my precognition the most.
It means that you mean that you think that you mean that when you go to sleep, you think, oh, I want you dream before you go to sleep. When I say by dream, you dream of doing that thing and the other. You have goals and that kind of stuff. Because that thing is what everybody's doing.
Yeah. It's just
What
it's
exactly do you mean? Because I may have lost you.
well, because like it's not even a conscious thought that I'll have. It's just if I'm going throughout my day and I realize, hey, my future seems pretty set in stone. Like I think I know the path that I'm gonna be going down. I never end up having any precognitive dreams during that moment because that's how my precognition is for me. It's purely for dreams.
Yes, that I understand. I feel you. Yes, that I understand, because if you don't set something, if you say that, for example, I am still a student and I say, I will get my degree. I will get my degree. That's the only thing that you can think of. In that moment, the ego, the conscious one, the conscious part of your brain overcomes your subconscious. And if the intuition or the precognition stems from your subconscious, then it's very natural that when you say, I will do this, it's like you carve something in stone. It's like destiny, something. You design your destiny. I will do that. My mind is on that track. So it's very logical that you don't have any precognitive dreams, or your intuition doesn't spark, or I don't know. That's what I believe.
Yeah.